I am right now with my parents, who I love dearly, Myrna and Delbert Hunt, and I'm going to ask them a question about raising children. So, what do you think are the key ingredients of raising a child?
First of all, God first, God first, and pray every morning in divine worship and include your child in that divine worship. With Todd, we would have our divine worship and we would ask him to read out of the morning watch, and he would read out of the morning watch every day. Not only did it uh, improve his reading skills, but it really left an impression on him to have morning worship each and every day. And thirdly, to pray together, to pray, pray, pray. Because in raising a child is a great responsibility, and you are responsible for this child. And you have to love the child, and it's important to me to tell the child that he's he's smart, he's a genius. Don't tell your child he's dumb, he's just like his father, he's no good. No, encourage that child, improve his self-worth, make him feel like he's worth something. Because to me, my son is the most valuable possession I ever have or will have.
Oh, Mom?
Yes. What I will say is, Todd, as you were growing up, I had to be very consistent with you. I could not be spasmodic. I couldn't say, okay, we're going to do this every day. And then when that day comes, we don't do it. I'm going to go back to you coming into this world on a Sunday. And we were in the hospital for one whole week, and we went home on a Sunday. But I took you to church the very next Sabbath after you came home from the hospital, and you have been going to church every week since then. There was no staying at home, and we didn't skip on our Sabbath. We went to church every Sabbath with you and took you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for that. So, you guys have seen a whole lot in the world. You guys have obviously lived a long life. What do you think right now is missing from what you're seeing in children being raised? What do you think is being missed? I know I caught you off guard with this one, but what do you think is being missed?
I'm going to say inconsistency.
Mm,
I had to be I couldn't live a double life with you growing up. I had to make sure that, am I being a good example for my child? Do I want him to see me doing this all the time? Or do I want to sneak around and oh, well, Todd's not looking, I'm going to do this. But whatever I did, I felt like you were watching me, and that when I am being watched, I have to be in a good example to you all of the time as you're growing up.
mm,
And I feel now I'm a retired school teacher. I taught for 37 years, and I feel proper discipline.
mm.
There is a proper way to discipline your child, and there's an improper way of disciplining your child. Um, I believe strongly in sparing the rod and spoiling the child. There is a time when you do have to administer corporal punishment, but explain to your child first what he has done wrong, and then giving him his punishment, and then at the end of the punishment, telling him or her, "I love you."
Mm. And I can remember that. I did some stuff that was wrong. Yes, I have been whooped before. They have whipped me. But what I always remember is before y'all whooped me, y'all used to pray.
Mhm.
Every time before you whooped me, you prayed. And it was kind of like, we're going to pray about this. And then in the prayer, you explained to me what I did was wrong and hope it be brought to remembrance to me to stop doing it. And I just remember that every time you all whoop me, you always pray before you whoop me. Now, there's a couple times where it didn't work out that way. But I'm saying that for the most part, I can remember you guys doing it. And I think that that's a very powerful statement for families and stuff. Like I said, I only got one more question here real quick before we because we're gonna bring this discussion periodically up here. For those that enjoy it, let me know if you enjoy this, if it's helpful.
Yeah. And one more thing I'd like to add to
Yes.
that: never spank your child out of anger. Do
Mm,
not be angry when you spank your child, because that's when it becomes abusive.
Mm.
Always reinforce with your child that you love them. You love them. You just didn't appreciate the things that they did. And this is why you are whipping them.
I would add also that your child needs to hear that I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd, you grew up on the word love from us because we always told you that we love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you did not let us spoil you. You didn't take that for granted or run away with it or anything. You stayed focused in life.
Well, I think because you guys were so consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and I love you guys because you show so much love to me that I didn't want to hurt my parents. So it was a relationship. And even at a very early age, you know, I can remember you all talking to me like a grown adult. Now, Todd, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. That I think a lot of times gets missed is that a lot of kids can retain a lot of information at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and what are your thoughts about teaching a child at a young age how to think larger than a little kid? What are your thoughts?
It's the way that you speak to your child. Speak to your child like you are speaking as an adult, and letting your child know that you are still the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You're the parent. I am not your brother. I'm not your sister. I'm not a playmate.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, but I'm still your parent.
Mm.
And that respect has to be mutual.
Mm-hmm.
I respect you as my child,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll let Mary take. And that's another thing. One thing I've always done for my wife, when I get up in the morning, I tell her I love you.
Mm.
And late at night, I say I
That's the
love
last
you.
thing he says.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Oh, you're just a loving family. I'm so glad I was born into it. Mom, you want any last thoughts here before we close
I
this
just
little
want
session?
to the last thing I want to say is that love conquers all. We cannot train our children in being ugly to them or mistreating them in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Children respond to love. And that's the reason why, Todd, we never had any problem with you growing up. You were consistent in school from grade 1 to high school. In fact, you had perfect attendance all 4 years in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that it was the Lord that brought you through. You've got all A's and B's in high school. And I just want you to know, we didn't adopt you. We took what we had. We got a jewel and a gem.
Well, I'm glad you all took me in.
And
And
we love you for what we got.
And the first thing I remember when you came out of the nursery, and I was the first one to hold you in the family.
mm-hmm.
I said this in front of your grandmother. I'm going to love him regardless of what he looks like.
Well, I'm glad you guys continue to love me regardless of what I look like and everything like that. I appreciate you all and love you. And I will stop this recording session. And if the people like it, just hit us up and tell us what you like. We'll have some more sessions.
Oh, oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, that's when I was born, folks. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Right after.
Yeah.
That's you, Todd.
Amen. I'm going to shut it off.